All right, we're going to be talking about breastfeeding now because an American advert has hit the headlines for showing the realities of breastfeeding, from lactating to breast stimulation hacks. It's an advert of many firsts, and we're not censoring what you see. God, that brought back memories for me. What about you, Nadia?
Does it you? It really does. It puts me right back there. I wish I'd seen more of that, not because it would put me off, because let me just say before we go any further, when it works and when you've got it all down, it's the most amazing feeling. But I'd been to 2 4-hour breastfeeding workshops before I had my baby, and I still really struggled. My sister and my friends had found it very easy, and my sister was very much, you know, like, that's what you got to do, there's no options, you've got to breastfeed. And I just went to a very dark place at times with it, because I just could, you know, it's very, you know, when you see all these photos of like a perfectly small breast with a baby just on it, and they're just, you know, when you've got big floppy things that, you know, land on this poor baby's head, and, you know, you've got a small nipple, but you've got this areola, you've got this, and it doesn't look anything like you've seen. It really contributed to me feeling like such a failure.
It's that funny thing you say about workshops, because actually the person that hasn't been to the workshop is the baby.
Yeah.
The baby doesn't always comply with what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I wonder how much I actually listened at the workshop, though, as well, because I think somewhere I still had in my head, it's actually just going to be fine. Like we were talking the other day about sleep.
Yeah.
You think, oh, it'll be fine. Mine will sleep. And so I
think there's only so much you can... There's a lot I think we have to learn ourselves, and that's quite traumatic for so many women and possibly their partners when they have to watch those women go through it. I mean, what was it like for you, Kimberly? When you watched this, did it elicit any kind of emotions within you? Penny?
Penny.
Oh, my brain today, I apologise.
You're breastfeeding?
Yeah, do you know what? It's the trauma from breastfeeding. I kid you not. I mean, I'll tell you all my story a little bit later on, but honestly, I did find that advert quite traumatic to watch. But yeah, what was it like for you, Penny?
I felt the video that we just saw was quite refreshing, because, like you say, you have this idea of this perfect woman, the perfect baby, and it's all going to be magical. And I did feel a lot of pressure to breastfeed, and I can't really recall where that pressure came from. I know it wasn't from my mum or from any friends, but you know, you just get told it's the best thing, it's the best start in life for your baby. So I did my absolute best, and it was a struggle to begin with, just the sort of the actual latching on, and then one breast kind of having a bit of mastitis and getting lumps, and then being told to sort of stand under a hot running shower to release some of the milk to take the pressure off, and then my nipples cracking, and I just thought, oh God, I don't know how much longer I can stand this. And then suddenly, like almost overnight, it sort of became natural, and I was lucky, and I got to breastfeed for 9 months and expressed into a bottle so that Rod could do some nighttime feeds as well. So yeah, it's tough though. I mean, I remember being in the high street once and running a bit late, and my first one needed to be fed. So I went into the back of a pharmacy, which I thought the best place to go, in the nappy aisle, found a quiet spot in the corner, and started breastfeeding. And the shop assistant came running over. Stop, I'm going to have to ask permission from the manager before you do that. And I said, no, you won't. She went, no, you can't do that in here. I said, look, missus, you take this baby off my nipple and I'll tell you what pain feels like, because there's no way.
You were really generous with your milk, weren't you, Penny? You were generous with yours. You shared it.
Yes. Rod's eldest daughter, Kimberly, she won't mind me saying this now because it was some sort of 8-9 years ago now. I was breastfeeding Aiden and she was breastfeeding her new baby, Delilah. I was actually weaning off of breastfeeding, so producing less and less. But I got a call for some help. And when I went over to her house, her mother was there, and there was a breastfeeding specialist, and they were discussing the subject of how to help Kimberly. Very fit mum, great mummy, and really slim. So whether that was something to do with her having trouble producing enough milk, but she was trying every method possible. And they said, look, we've got one great idea. We need a mother who's breastfeeding. Penny, can you help? So, of course, it was for the baby's sake. So I started expressing again and produced little bottles of vials of milk for her about 2 weeks. And it was wonderful. And it got Kimberly's confidence back, and she got the chance to produce her own.
It's a beautiful thing to do for another woman. And I think I struggled a lot first time round, and it was really emotional and worried about people seeing my breasts and it not coming very easy. Second time round, as you know, you talk about getting blocked ducts and all that stuff, so painful, so painful. So I combination fed with the second one, because I was like, I'm just not going to do that full time, because when it needs to go, it needs to go, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had pretty much the same experience as you. I mean, I had the same thing as Penny with my first daughter, and had her in a big NHS hospital, and it was very much the thing that was said to me was breast is best, and there was no other alternative given. And I wasn't very good at it. And, you know, with the midwife or health visitor that comes around when you've got home, kept teaching me. And after about 2 weeks, I just said, I'm not doing this anymore. And my life felt a lot better. And then by the time I got to Grace, when I had Grace, I remember I was in bed in this same hospital with this, I saw this woman coming out of the corner of my eye and I went, don't even bother, I'm not doing it.
And it's having that confidence, isn't it, to make a decision if you then have another one second time round. Yeah.
It's all about choice. Like anything, it's about choice.
Yeah.
Some people find it easy.
Yeah. Oh, OK. I've got lots of people talking to me in my ear about breastfeeding.
About your breasts.
About my breasts. It's a very odd experience. But, you know, because the reality of it is it can be so hard. But whether you choose to do it or if you choose not to do it, if you're not able to do it, the thing is, your babies are going to be fine.
And you know what I would say that I wish I'd reached out for help earlier, because you can. The cracked nipples and everything. If you get somebody, a breastfeeding expert, to just help you get that baby to latch on properly, you don't need to suffer. So there is a way out.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 6'1" and my mum didn't breastfeed. I was formula, so it didn't stop my development.
Didn't stop your development in any shape or form. Right.